Oh my goodness. I see myself. I gotta share this. Copy to my friend. Hey friend. Hey friend. I'm live. How are y'all doing? I don't know if anybody is on here. I don't even know if anybody can hear me. It looks like, can you hear me now? I have a fancy mic. It's been a minute since I've done live, so I'm going to send it to Facebook too. Oh, can you tell I'll share this again. Share. Oh, good. Wait, what? Ah, that's not what I'm doing. Okay. Clearly, I need help. How are you guys? If you don't know me, my name is Jen Hart, and I always say it with a high pitch, and I apologize for that. I'm just posting on Facebook because I'm a Gen Xer, and that's where we congregate sometimes. But I've been a youngster, and I've been on TikTok, and I've been on Instagram. I don't do Snapchat because I think I'm just too old for that. But I would go back to MySpace, and I used to have a Friendster account. Anyway, I'm live. All right now. I'm chewing gum. I hope that doesn't bother you. I'm not worried. Hi, how are you? I don't know who's here. You can type in the chat. Oh, yay, hi. Hi. This is exciting. My lighting is whatever, but I hope you all are doing good. If you don't know me, I do have a friend and maybe somebody else. Maybe me. I don't know how this thing works. I'm a mindset coach. I'm an empowerment coach. I used to be in social work. I used to help people with disabilities, mental health disorders, and formerly incarcerated get jobs, counsel them, improve their lives when they wanted to. I used to be a project manager in a previous life, graphic designer. In my late 40s. Does it sound crackly? Oh, thank God for friends. I will be your monitor. Well, thank you. It's like a whole monitor. Crackly. Does it still sound crackly? It was bouncing because my computer moved. And I shook the table. And I'm a little shaky because, fine. Does the sound better? Still crackly. Okay, let me see. Let me close all these other freaking windows, and that might help. Because that might be taking up too much bandwidth. Maybe. Does it sound better? Maybe it's not plugged in properly. I have not used this in a minute. I didn't even test it before. It's not going to be perfect, but if you can let me know, I will greatly appreciate it because then it'll be a little better. I don't want. I'm searching solutions. Okay. Well, I have my tech support, and I'm so grateful for my friend tech support USA. So yes, I'm a first and foremost, I'm an intuitive. I'm also extremely interested in helping people manifest the life that they want and also overcome their own anxieties. And sorry, I'm a little distracted. I have ADD, as the channel suggests. I've been toying with what to do with this channel for ages because I keep changing my mind. First, it was confidence mindset coaching. Then it was the ADHD Girl's Guide to Life. And in reality, like ADD, I continue to change my mind or focus, really. And the one thing that I'm consistently focused on, no matter what, is why people, who people are, letting people know that they matter no matter what, and getting to know why people do what they do to help them be more productive in what they want to accomplish. Partially, it, my whole life since I was a child, I've been interested in the spirituality, the mind, the not necessarily the body. I'm not a fitness person per se, but I understand, what you put in, you get back, somewhat. And it's a holistic system. Um, and now I just wanted to kind of chit chat and maybe talk about how to hold a strong mindset during utter chaos, and whether or not you've experiencing it now or not would be very beneficial for all of us to talk about it. And maybe this crackling, sorry, I got distracted. Maybe it's crackling because I have gum in my mouth. Or is it actually just me talking? Let me throw out my gum. Hmm. I'm going to stay on live for as long as I can. All right, okay, let me see. So no sounds like the stream's audio. Doing okay tonight. How are you? Awesome. I'm okay. Living. Livin. There's a lag or the wrong bandwidth. I don't know how to change that. The lag is probably a normal thing for YouTube because of the I think it's a safety protocol probably, so somebody doesn't do something stupid and the algorithm can catch something not so nice. For all those that might watch this later on, it's Saturday night. My car is overheating, and the place that that I that I take my car to, I finally found a great mechanic. But the part which I thought they ordered on Tuesday, I was supposed to get in within 3 days, and they did not have it on Friday. And they did not call me on Saturday this morning because they only had like 4 hours open. So Monday, hopefully I'll get my car to drive again. And not that I'm stuck. I live in a suburban area where I can walk to the grocery store and whatever. Like, it's not that serious, but it's weird not being out and about. All right. I'm just getting used to this fun. All right. Fun. I'm just learning how to chat. I don't know if this would look better or sound better with my phone, but right now, hopefully, this is decent enough. I'm sorry I'm playing with my hair. I'm just like not used to watching myself on a computer screen. So yeah, I'm a mindset coach. I used to be in social work. I used to help people with severe mental health disorders. I myself have had my own struggles in life, and this is the time if you're going to be popping up live. I don't know if YouTube will actually share this out, but this is the time to ask me questions. I'm going to try to be live every day here and maybe on TikTok because it's much more faster to get, eyes. And because then I can help more people. Like that's the whole point of this. And some people like do games and mukbang and I don't know, like I could literally do anything within reason. Yeah. So just got distracted again because this is so much fun. Okay. So the mindset during utter chaos. Well, it depends on where your mind is. And I can tell you, no one's expecting anyone to be a monk during tumultuous times, whether it's in your own life or whether it's like just because global things are happening. And um, everybody has there's so many multiple universes here enacted. So not only are global things happening around the world, not just in the United States where I am currently, um, and then individually you have your own world, you have your own experience, perceptions, things that are going on for you. So you might be having multiple areas where your brain is kind of getting pulled to. Could be from the news, just could be from social media, because that's like the point of social media, right? Like to grab your attention and to stay there. The point of grabbing your attention is to support you, not the other way around. We tend to be used by these things, and ideally, which I'm an idealist, and I'm practical, and I'm woo woo and all the things. But in terms of being able to choosing the way you think about things, choosing the way you react to things, choosing the way, what inputs, like music is a great like thing for that, because there's different genres, there's different tempos, there's different um frequencies, if that's the easiest way to describe all of this. The same goes for your mindset and the way you feel. And it's not about controlling your feelings, because that is a fool's game. Just kind of like your feelings will pass if you allow them. Your everything is temporary emotionally. Thoughts sometimes are temporary as well. I mean, we have 60,000 plus thoughts a day. Last time I guess they counted. I don't know how they counted that, but like I guess synapses that were going. Boo, 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 boo. That's my best guess on how they figured out 60,000 thoughts. But it's not like somebody was with a counter. Like I can't imagine. That sounds so awful. But oh, hold on one second. Okay, make sure you're using the latest version of your encoder software. I don't know what that is. Update your encoder to the latest version. Check the look and sound of your stream directly in the encoder. If your stream looks or sounds bad, there may be a problem with the quality of your audio or video source routed to your encoder. I don't know what the encoder is, my friend. I love your... What's the encoder? Is it the thing on the bottom? Maybe y'all can help me. I'm not going to share my screen because y'all don't need to know what I'm searching. Don't worry. It's not. So search encoder in Windows search. So it's on Windows, not YouTube. All right. Let's see. Thank God for my tech team. My tech team is a one-person show, but he is awesome. Encoder. To do that? Encoder. Don't worry, kids. I will. Is it an app? Not in a browser. Documents, web, settings, probably settings. No, oh, maybe I spelled it wrong. That would do it. Encoder. I don't know. And opened up another tab. Hold on. Encoder. Settings? No encoder settings. Apps. Second motion. I second the motion regarding music. Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm sure you can hear me. I don't have to always text. Clearly, my brain, and I hope you all are having a good time with this, because that's the point. On Windows, you can check your graphics card. I have a basic Google Samsung Windows machine, but I will check. I might have to check after this one. And Explorer Media Foundation. Let me see what it sounds like. I'm going to check what I sound like. YouTube. Listen to myself. Ooh, I like that one. Here's a playlist. Sorry. Distraction, apartment. I'm looking up apartment things because I'm looking for a new place because my roommate, I'm gonna miss her. She is selling the place, so I'm looking for something pretty awesome in the area that I'm living in. Okay, what am I doing? I got distracted again. Okay, I'm going to see my channel. Let's see if I can see myself. Okay. Oh God. Oh, I can hear it. It doesn't sound choppy on mine, but there's a delay. It's so weird. I'm hearing myself double tap. The good news is if I don't like this, I don't have to publish it, but it's fun to practice and also help some people out maybe. Ooh, maybe you just have a really nice, sound card, so everything sounds crackly. I'm gonna turn off myself. Okay, maybe, but sometimes it's very choppy. Okay. It's okay, not too crackly at the moment, okay, but sometimes it's very choppy and crackly. Alright. I wonder if there's, that's weird, I didn't even do anything. Maybe it's my seat. Maybe my internet fixed itself, I don't know. It can be very well YouTube. Oh, that's true. That makes sense because I don't know if there's some magic things going on because the world is exploding or something, like, there's so many people on. Um, so yes, this whole channel, we're not sure what it's gonna be fully yet, but I know I'm gonna talk about humans humaning, changing. I wanna do things that are fun and interesting, so I will keep my attention towards it. I do wanna support people in ADHD, but any type of support, really, like, it especially mindset. Like, also, if the world explodes, may it be like freshly cooked popcorn. With salted butter. Goodness. Let's do that. Himalayan salt, maybe not just butter, um, or olive oil with some stuff on it. That would sound good. What are you doing tonight, my friend? Besides watching me. Yeah, I know you're multitasking just as much as I. I'm in the rabbit hole looking at properties. Ooh. Ooh. Did I share with you all the internet friends and more so my specific friend because my specific friend and I talk all the time. But there's a farm who is local to South Jersey. It's called, what is it called? IG. I'm gonna look on IG. Um, need okay, what's his name? Timberline Farms. So Timberline Farms is a small farm in South Jersey. This dude's and his wife or partner, I don't know, everybody, they have kids, so they're together. They started this farm in 2015. They moved from Philadelphia. I think he's from North Jersey. Whoop whoop, North Jersey represent. Um, and I'm a weird hybrid from New Jersey who lives in Pennsylvania. So like I've went to the dark side. But at least I can support my liberal people in the PA region. Anyway, so this guy, he is so good. Like, not this farm they started in 2015. It was like just some, I don't know how many acres, like not that many. And they know they wanted to start a homestead slash farm. So they have a sunflower farm. They also do baked goods, and they do like farm fresh eggs. And his one of his best videos, like he's funny. He's Italian, and I think he's Polish. It doesn't really matter. It's just giving you an explanation of this guy, and he's so funny. He like explains Italian words like stunad and stuff like that. And it's like such a great way to engage with the audience on Instagram, and I don't know if he's on TikTok, probably. Um, and the most recent thing that is fabulous is that you know how all these rich guys like Ty Lopez and stuff like that, like go next to their fancy cars, like their Lambos and stuff like that, and like flashing some money. He literally did that with all the eggs from his beautiful hens, and those girls really produce. And we are very proud of those hens. So I thought that was so cute, and you could look them up because they are so. Yes, you are not stunad much of the time. You know who is though? A lot of people, but not you. You're awesome. Anyway, me too, honey. Me too. So he is just fabulous in that little Instagram video about flashing those eggs like he's like a pimp. He's got a cigar in his mouth, and he's like what's the guy? Al Pacino in and not The Godfather. You know, the Italian one where he's snorting coke off the table. This it's like such a perfect picture of like how rich he is because of the amount of eggs he has, and it's just like fabulous and funny. So yes, a lot of others are. So I wanted you all to look up Tim. What's it called again? What? Oh, my phone is, at least my Instagram's telling, get ready for sleep. Timberline Farms, and they are in Haddon. Wait, not Haddonfield. They are in Hamilton, New Jersey. So it's in between Philly and AC. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, love. So sometimes you need okay, getting back to there's no getting back. This is like a casual fun. Let me support you while you don't don't die into destruction of mass hysteria. The mindset of experiencing or at least surviving or thriving in utter chaos is like, let's not think about current events. Or you can. I mean, you can practice your skills in any context. It's easier when there isn't things right in front of you, but most of the time, most of us learn when things are very much acutely in our face. Whether it's like you got to move, whether it's your car breaking down, whether it's um, democracy being challenged, all these things. um, how do you help your mindset deal with the utter chaos? Well, one of the things that I work on with myself is that always having my own back, no matter what. And not just having my own back, but holding my head or hanging my hat on something that I can truly know for certainty. Now, most things are not certain in life. Like, things change all the time. But what is certain is that I've survived every bad day I've ever had in my entire life. And I've thrived afterwards. So that means, and that's maybe not 100% possible all the time, but I can see that mindset being useful is that if you've survived every bad day that you've ever had, whatever's in front of you now that is overwhelming you or making you feel like whatever the worst feelings you're having, if you're having them, is that this too, as cliche it is, will pass. It's passing because time is passing. Things are changing 24/7. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And if everything is temporary, that means the bad times are temporary. Sadly, that also means the good times, but you can always live more in the good times by your mindset and by how you view things. And the more joy and gratitude that you live on a consistent basis, weird word consistency for ADD, but like I had to entrain my brain to not go to like my brain still goes to the worst case scenario, but I don't live in it. Like I don't live in the fact that that's an absolute truth because all paradigms, all realities are at play all the time, no matter what the circumstances. That's why people in camps in a foreign country in the 30s, the people that survived that had hope. They thought about their families during when they couldn't eat, when they were worked to the bone, when they were tortured. These people used their mindset to survive. And I'm sure there was some luck and some choices that they made that helped them. They found a happy place, exactly, in their own mind. It's so important that you befriend your mind. They definitely weren't necessarily right in front of them. And it's great when it is, like, and even in the darkest time, they could still be singing. Like they were singing back then, like in when they could, or they would write stories when they had access to things to write on. It's like the the ingenuitive spirit is within all of us. Absolutely. I know one of your happy places, North Carolina, with an accent. Yes, happy places save us all, and not necessarily in a delusional way, because I don't think these people were delusional. Although someone would probably say they were delulu, because their reality was not what they were dreaming of about having families, about having like their favorite meal after 300 plus days. Someone who isn't going through that might say, especially now, people are they don't like people to dream. But dreaming has its purpose. It has its meaning. It has its it can bring you to the other side of something very dark. And if you're going through something right now that's utter chaos, whether it's a relationship or just feeling overwhelmed by the news, and it's like, know that all realities exist. That means all the good in the world exists at the same time, and maybe some of all the bad. And we get to choose where we put our attention to and what we embody. I didn't have a great day this morning. It wasn't like the whole day. It was just like I don't know. It wasn't about the world. It was about my own stuff. And then I took some time. I snuggled with the kitty because kitties make everything better. I rested. I had coffee. I fed myself. I did the things that I knew to let myself move through emotions. And there are so many different skills that I can teach you, or share. But like, bottom line is, eventually my brain let go of any fear or anxiety, because that's how I've been trained my brain. I learned a long time ago that the more I focused on lack, limitations, fears, giving them more bandwidth or rental space in my brain made me miserable. That also made my clients miserable when I was in social work. And the client now, luckily my client now, we work on different things, not necessarily catastrophe, although it happens because life is lifing. Life is lifing. So when life is living, how do you move from a mental state that is not serving your highest good? It's not ignoring problems. This is not like, I never want to think that anybody should never talk about things that are troublesome or challenging or dark. That's not the point. Sometimes you have to move the energy, and sometimes talking moves the energy. It's whether or not you're actually moving the energy or exacerbating that energy. I'm an energy worker at heart. I understand energy. I understand people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions acutely well. And and it starts with me. If I don't understand myself, I can't help somebody else understand themselves. The best teacher is our own highest self and our own experiences. And sometimes we need guidance because, hello, um, we are weirdly united and unison and also very different. And that's the most beautiful part about being a human being. So, yeah, the mindset is to not disassociate, although there's a your brain will naturally do that. You do not have to actually it's a way your brain will uses coping mechanisms to survive things. And some people are dissociating 24/7, 7 days a week because they've had past trauma that they have not worked on, healed, let pass through. It's gotten stuck in their mind and or body or combination. So there are, you notice when somebody is not embodied, that they can't even, they'll bump into things, they'll bump into people, they're not truly present, they're kind of in and out of conversations. And it's not like ADD in and out, it's just more about I'm not literally feeling present moment. And that's a practice. And sometimes people are so present that you feel so solid next to them. You feel them at their core as like being stable and grounded. And sometimes they're annoying because they like aren't as flighty. Not because of the groundedness, but more about like they're not always, it depends on their mind, but like they're not always like woo woo excited. But it takes us all, right? It takes us all to enjoy and experience this world and the best possible things about this world. And with that mindset of surviving utter chaos, you literally you be focused. So instead of dissociating, you're distraction. And sometimes distraction is absolutely a technique you would use to shift your mind and your feelings out of darkness, like the people in 1933 and beyond. Because your brain can only handle so much. There's a reason why people dissociate and have um, dissociative identity disorder, which used to be multiple personalities, but called that. It's an awful name for things that, but people, like everything in psychology, it evolves and changes eventually. It takes so fucking long for these things to change. But the whole idea is that it is a protective mechanism. So when you're splitting so many parts of you into pieces to survive, to cope with everyday life, because at a certain point in your life, you were severely traumatized. A lot of people in the past, probably, I could say 20 plus years because I come from being 24 during 9/11, but just anybody who's on the planet, no matter what globally has gone on, individually, your brain will either be more resilient to things like this or more fractured. And the fracturing is a safety mechanism. It's thank God for it, the possibility for it, because that was one way severe trauma, sexual, physical, emotional abuse. Some people fracture and it saves their life. It's amazing that the brain can do this. It's amazing that in this fractured state, you could be left-handed or right-handed in a different body or different mind. You could have a skill set that you don't have in another. And that's the amazing part about DID. Besides that, it's an amazing coping skill for individuals who experience that. But we also have the ability to tap into that without having to go through trauma. It shows that the brain has multiple fractions that you can tap into your most powerful self. You could also go dark, But because your personality segments in family systems, they're just parts. They're called parts. Each of us have different parts of ourselves. Like, I'm different with some people more than others. I tried, um, not tried. I've integrated myself. Not that I've ever had DIDs, and but like in terms of doing parts work, in terms of reclaiming parts of myself that were lost or not fully formed when I from childhood, it's a healing modality. That and it's a wonderful for those that partake into it and decide that that's a good avenue for them, because it can bring you to a place of being more whole and more centered and more able to cope with the world. Um, that's always good. But the whole point of what I was trying to say is that with whether you call it parts work or not, is that if somebody, say, with DID has the power to do something that they didn't do in their other life, like they didn't have diabetes, it's like it's fascinating when they've done these studies, is that somebody with DID, like the host, the main person, might have some affliction. I don't know, MS or something like tangible, like um, diabetes. And it's when they switch to this other part or this other person, they don't have it anymore. Or their eyesight gets clear when they had reading glasses or uh, nearsightedness. That's the power of the mind. That power of the mind is what you can utilize when there's utter chaos in your world. You can tap into another layer, another person that is you, that is really inside you. It's not like, and there are theories, like spiritual theories. You could say that you're tapping into like another higher consciousness and you're bringing it towards you, like downloading it, whatever. But if it pops in and out in terms of like a brain difference, like your brain and your biochemistry changes when you're shifting into this new part of personality, that's embodiment. And this is when people say, when you shift your identity, your circumstances change, and like you have to become the person that you want to be. It's like, if you don't want to be poor, you have to become somebody who is inherently embodied as wealthy, or just abundant in some way. It doesn't, wealth has a lot of connotations at present. Um, and those are very misrepresentations of what wealth means in the world. There are a lot of people that are wealthy that are good people. There are a lot of wealthy people that are not so much. And you get to decide if you ever become wealthy or if you're already wealthy. And wealth isn't always about money. Wealth is about time freedom. It's about choice freedom. It's about how much connection you have in your life. It's about how much joy you have in your life. You could be miserable and making $1 million, or you could be miserable, or you could be happy as a clam and make nothing. So, or all of the above, because all realities and all paradigms exist at the same time, and you get to choose which ones. This is why I'm talking about this, because it literally how you can step into a new identity almost as fast as somebody who has DID when they're switching to a personality that has a different embodiment. I think humans, all of us, including me, have a hard time with this because it makes us feel crazy. But it doesn't always feel like, am I playing a role? Am I somebody different? Am I stepping into this identity? And there's that second guessing. It's not like like a done and done and done. It's literally a process, for because change is hard if you're doing the slow change. What if we could all decide that we are happy, abundant, free human beings, with with the external world will eventually catch up, meaning the world equity will be fully existing. Like, there will be not this kind of struggle. Like, this is just ponderings. These are just ideas, because if you can switch and to having no diabetes, like in your system, it was on Discovery Channel a few years ago, I think, or I don't remember when I saw it, but I do remember a woman like going into an MRI machine and getting blood drawn, and her biochemistry changed. Not just her personality, but the whole being of her changed. That means we have that capability without having to have a dissociative disorder. But how do we tap in? How do we master going into the reality that we want? How do we switch the timeline, so to speak? That's the question that I'm always working on for my own stuff, because I got my own shit. Like, honestly, we do this in little pieces. Like, when we shift our mind to say things are always working out for me. And this morning it didn't feel that way. Like, but in reality, they are working out for me. Me not having a car could have saved my life this week. It could, like, I use that mindset tool of not being sad and like I can't go anywhere. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I've had resources. My roommate was awesome. She let me borrow her car the other night, and she even said today if I needed it, I could use it. Like, not that I have to go anywhere because I have food and I have, it's just that normal twitching of like not being settled to be in one spot. But I can go for a walk, all these things. But that whole being able to switch into the mindset instead of feeling sorry for myself is in being empowered. That's my whole jam. Being empowered to be choosing and embodying that I'm okay. At present, I technically am. There's no, I could future trip and get all freaked out because I used to do that all the fucking time. And I still have parts of it if I allow my brain to go into that kind of panic of nothing is working out or I have to manage it all. Part of the idea about identity and a dissociative identity is that it's a switch. It's not even like, sometimes it's a slow switch based on the person who has this these symptoms. Like, a slow switch could be 15-20 minutes. It could be but the whole point of all of this is that if you're embodying this new person of somebody who is free, just fundamentally free, fundamentally abundant, fundamentally okay, safe, happy, connected to people that they love and care and caring about the world. Like, it's fascinating. It is fascinating. It's fascinating to practice because it is a practice, I think, for us who don't want to be dissociative in order to get to this new spot of where we're going. And to manage this utter chaos, the mindset is and this goes for a lot of spiritual traditions, like, or thought processes, like, with Neville Goddard. It's like you're living in the end of which you want. In one of his books, he was helping his mentor was telling him, because he wanted to be in Barbados with his family, but he didn't have any money to go there. And he went to this mentor, and the mentor was literally, it felt like gaslighting when you're reading it. You're like, you're in Barbados. And he's like, I'm in New York. Like, I'm not in Barbados. And then Abdul, or whatever his name is, shuts the door on him and be like, you don't understand this teaching. You're living in this other reality. You're living in the reality that you don't want. Stop doing that. But it's really hard not to. It's really hard to look at the world and being like, because all realities exist at the same time. That means all the shit's happening at the same time and all the good's happening at the same time. But why are we continually tapping into the shit? Why are we all? Because we're not focused. We're really, these things that we're watching. I don't know how it was like 80 years ago when all you had was a newspaper or your like radio, or like, was the radio, yeah, the radio existed 80 years ago, but like not just the radio, books, and then also your like yappy aunt or whatever, like all these people in your ear. Like, you might have had less stress because you could focus on what you wanted. I don't know as many months back then. We've expanded tremendously over the course of 80 years of what we want and what we want to experience, and then feel that lack because it's not present for whatever reason. It's very, very, very interesting. But like, I work on being realistic and also being delusional. Not delusional in the sense where I'm hallucinating, or delusional where I think I can fly when I can't, if I don't have it, if I'm not in a machine of some sort. Um, I've had clients with schizophrenia that think that they could fly, and this does not bode well for that kind of reality. Maybe someday that person will be able to fly, but we're not going there. Anyway, the whole point of that is I want to be delusional, but it's not an actual delusion if we're choosing the realities that we're experiencing. No, not going there. We're not going there. I've had family that has gone there, but they got out of it because they realized these principles of being able to choose what they're primarily living in, embodying. I'm grateful for my mother for that. She didn't teach me how to be abundant in terms of finances, but she definitely taught me how to be abundantly mindset and be able to survive things that were challenging. She also gave me some challenges, but that's a whole completely other conversation. The whole point, like I continuously say, is what if the realities that we're focusing on, if we're stepping into the reality that we're abundant and that we have freedom and that we are at peace and we are connected to each other, and why aren't we living that more often? Well, we might be. Like in small moments when I shift my mindset, I'm living in that new reality that which I want. I say, I'm okay. I'm okay. Things are always working out for me. I'm not going to be homeless. That's a major fear of mine because I was. And the fear isn't illogical because it's a reality that's existing. How about let me exist in reality where I won the lottery? That would be a fabulous reality. And it's not more than $5. I'm talking about a Mega Millions here. But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I think I'm becoming British. It's fascinating, these ideas about stepping into an identity that is, all identities are multifaceted anyway. Like, even if you are abundant, you can have a bad day. Even if you are generally go lucky and happy, you can have a miserable moment. That's the wonderful thing about reality, or what we perceive as reality. We can step into. This is why avoiding news. That's the segment, right? Like, information, informing is good, and I'm guilty of this. I share information ad nauseum, and sometimes negative information, sometimes humorous information. Like, there was a picture today of a you know, raccoon truck. And it looks like a model from 1966 from India. And it's hysterical. So I shared that because that is so fucking ridiculous that no engineer could come up with something better than that stupid, ugly piece of machinery. like, I don't get it. But to each his own, to each his own. But I do unfortunately share things because I think some information for certain timelines and for certain people needs to be awakened. It's kind of like it. And is it my only job? No, it's the world. And sometimes you want to make sure that when you're sharing something, or at least I do. I don't know, your personal integrity is yours. But when I'm sharing something, sometimes it's reactionary because I'm like, oh my God, everybody needs to know this. And sometimes is it because I want somebody to be motivated to do something? Isn't that true for all media? Right? Like, media is for information, but why is the information being shared? What's it supposed to motivate us to do? Is it supposed to make us feel belonging, safe, connected, happy, joyful? Most news is not that. Most news is separate, making us feel like to be in a fear state. Most news is literally trying to manipulate you to either buy something, buy an idea, or buy a product. like, Like in this kind of modality where I'm talking about, when they drew up that model, I know. I don't think, well, they took it from a 1966 Indian trash truck. They literally did that. If you see my Instagram, I think it's still on there. It's ridiculous. It's so funny. And if it's not on my Instagram, it's on my funny and helpful thing. Yeah, it is appropriate. So it's kind of funny, like even me doing this, what's my intention? What the intention is multiple. It's multifold. Getting comfortable into YouTube, like getting more comfortable being visible in this arena. Um Practicing my jazz hands clearly. But also hopefully my intention is to help somebody have a change of mind or benefit them in some way. It says, I mean, am I altruistic? Um I have my moments, but this, I don't know if this is an altruistic live stream. I think it's more of this will help somebody and it helps me. So why wouldn't I do it? You know, I have time and blah, blah, blah. My intentions are relatively pure. Like I'd have to go deep to see whether or not there's like a dark, it's not like I'm trying to, like with the news, it's trying to do something to you that is to their benefit, either advertisers' benefit or the people of power who are utilizing the news in their own way. Most creators, I think, on these platforms have their own intention. Like I have a business, I'm a coach. I I get hired. Like that's not a motivating factor. It should be. That would be making more money. But even if I'm calling those people, this is not the intention that I'm setting forth per se. If it's an outcome, so be it, but it's not the intention. And that's why whenever we're absorbing things, whether it's music or TV or news or Instagram or TikTok, of like what's the intention behind the share? It's the same with interpersonal relationships. When somebody's sharing with you something, sometimes it's literally just to connect. Sometimes it's literally just to say, um, I see you and I want to see you and I want to be seen. Like literally that's what interpersonal relationships are all about. Being seen, heard, valued, appreciated, loved. Um, but some people have an agenda of hating people. Like we see this in the world. And that's their MO. That's their experience. That's what they want. They want to get that out of you. We notice this in narcissism, especially narcissist personality disorder or cluster B folks. Like they get off on people being upset around them because they get the energy. They're, as an energy management person, you can see once you step away and not involved with one, like you literally see, wow, they're trying to suck the life out of me, either in some fashion, whether it's anger or sadness or frustration, because they don't have their own. Like they don't have any, they're not sourced from within for whatever reason. Like usually it's trauma. Um, People are usually the way they are because of the programming that they came from or came in with, like biologically or your environment of which you are part of. This is why even if you aren't a narcissist, but you come into the world and you have some bad experiences and you're really nice person to begin with, and then somehow, some way in life, later on in life, you became an asshole because you were just so tired of being shit on. And and you didn't really realize how to manifest your own boundaries without being a dickhead. Like it's like people do it. But like I said, all realities are possible and all realities are available to be chosen and embodied. And that's the fun part about all of this is like, what reality do we want to continue to grow? I want to grow a, a place and in my interactions of peace, humor, love, connection, joy, pleasure. Like I don't embody pleasure as much as I want to, but I know that's an intention I get to set. And when I'm absorbing things, it's not to be so weirdly like, don't listen to anything dark or don't read any books that are dark or don't watch the news. like, they all as long as you come from a conscious place, none of these things can harm you, because if you're solid within yourself, you're not gonna be moved by these things, and I mean, I can be moved by them. I'm I can be manipulated, I can be hypnotic, can be under hypnosis, not everybody can. Some people are super solid, and I'm more solid than I've ever been in my life. Hence, that's why I teach this stuff. It's because the more you can trust yourself and know that you have your own back, you attract those people that can do the same for you, and or you sift through the ones that can't, and you continue to grow more of that in your life, you know? I felt like I talked a lot. I don't know, Jenna. Does anybody know that this is my favorite color? It's not brown, it's maroon. Jenna. I think I talked a lot. Do you think this was helpful, Jude? Aw. I know you know it's everything. My curtains on my closet. Like, I guess this is maroon. This is some mauve. No, it's probably burgundy. I don't know. What's the difference between maroon and burgundy? Oh, thank you, Jude. Very. I mean, I should know this. I used to be a graphic designer and understand Pantone colors, but I tried to let that go out of my brain a long time. Burgundy is more pink. So maroon is more has more blue in it or brown? Maroon is more brown. So it's darker, deeper. Burgundy is pink, orange and yellow. But it all comes from RGB, right? Yeah, or like cyan, magenta. I don't know. Orange and yellow. RGB colors as well. And that's not what's her name? God bless her. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She should have her own color. Maroon is warm, burgundy is cool. Really? So I know it's my screen is not color corrected by any stretch. So what is this? I love this shirt from Minnesota. I went to my friend's wedding in Minnesota. She's fabulous, and as her husband is, and I got to go visit them over the summer. I drove across the states for 4 days. It was exhausting and awful. The driving, not the wedding, and hanging out with people and dancing and seeing all good friends and meeting new people and stuff like that. That was the best part. And Minnesota is so beautiful. And this is another reason why I love Tim Walls. It's more burgundy. Interesting. But what about so these are very similar. Okay. This is very so it's not the shade, right? I'm not trying to show my boobs. So this we get some light. Y'all don't want to see my what do you oh my nephew plays with them, and that makes me happy and sad at the same time. Bat wings. Batwing. I did not know that was going to be Batman. That's more burgundy. Oh, this thing. The Minnesota shirt. The Minnesota shirt is a burgundy. You know what we can do, friends? We can also do this as like a um body doubling thing. The fun about ADD is that sometimes you don't want to sit without having a partner in crime to do a thing. Yes, the Minnesota shirt is burgundy. Okay. Well, and what about the tank? This is maroon or burgundy? I learned by watching you. Looks maroon. Because it's darker? Or just because it has more brown? I can't tell. More yellow. God bless you. Because I have, thank God, because you're my resident artist as well. IT person, resident artist. Y'all, you need to buy this man's jewelry and awesome miniatures. Like, this man does Morse code. bracelets, so you can say fuck off to people. Do you do custom? Do you do custom bracelets? Yay! Can you put your link in the chat? And I can put it once this stream is over, because just so you're aware, for future reference, is that my description box that has an automatic thing, some of those things are not that they're not valid, but I don't know what links work anymore because I changed my website again. Customize lots of things. Pendants, bracelets, anklets. And the Morse code ones, or no? Because the Morse code ones are totally rad. Awesome. Please put in your link into the chat so then I can also copy it and put it into the description box, because that would be cool for future people who... I'm wondering, YouTube has not shared my stream with anybody. I'm kind of pissed. My store's on vacay mode because I'm angry and tired. Okay. But can you put your Instagram? Okay, cool. Because at least people... Because I wonder if you'd be motivated if you got like 10 people to be like, I want a Morse code bracelet. Here's some money. Not that you're not motivated, but the tired part. You remember, you can have workers. I'm your friend. You can use me as a person. You just have to line it up because I don't know Morse code. It's not a language I understand or know. I kind of know the I haven't memorized it completely, but like the military alphabet. Alpha, Bravo. Vaguely remember. Oh, sorry. I'm wondering why YouTube has not shared me out. Items aren't always SFW. What does SFW mean? Safe for work. Oh, safe work. But they're in Morse code. How do you mean things are not in Morse code? People that follow me should know that the word fuck or other things in the vernacular that seem inappropriate. Yes, we are inclusive of all colors as long as you're not saying nasty to a particular group or person. But you can say off to somebody if it's a joke. But we're not talking about, you know what we're talking about. It's really choppy. I don't know why. My person told me it's choppy. I apologize. Oh, is Morse code safe for work? Yeah. Who does Morse code anymore? I mean, that's well, in the military, you can actually wear things that are not regulated. That would be good for the chat things to minimize and people have thousands of people in the chat room. And it's not could be my internet connection because I think one of my phone sometimes away from my computer. I don't know if that'll help. Edna. Maybe a TikTok. Does anybody, I mean, anybody that watches this now or later, this is all for fun. Well, we're not making rules here. A live stream. Anybody hate their wing app? Not necessarily the app itself, or like the things that you see on your video. Like I see little DLC foxes in front of my door, and I like to see when the mail comes when things happen. But, oh, my friend, hold on 1 second, I'm doing a live stream. Okay. You want to be on the live stream?
No, thank you.
Okay. In 2 seconds, I'll call you back. I gotta check you. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight because it's been an hour and 5 minutes. Yay. But we were talking about something. Oh, about the internet, I think. I'm distracted. Ooh, there's or on the pro-Russian regime in Hungary. Oh my God, this is fabulous. I'm going to show this to people. This is what the revolution is about. It's to wake people up. It's been under a regime for 16 years. It's an authoritarian state in Hungary. I'm so grateful that this is what we need here, friends. We will win this. We have the technology of our minds, the technology of our internal will for freedom and love and taking care of each other. I hope this live stream did do well. Please follow Diverse Moments on Instagram. I will link it down. Searching diverse memoirs. Copy. So if you want some more code action, if you're inappropriate, you're welcome to my club. As long as you're not nasty to people unless it's humorous. You know, I'm all about free speech, but you don't be a dick to people just to be a dick. And if I get banned for using words that's not for children, no problem. I hope you all have a good night. Enjoy the revolution. Enjoy is a strong word, I know, but the more mindset we have around the world that we live in, of peace, of freedom, democracy, of love, love your neighbor, and that. And friends. Thank you for watching. You're my favorite. And I hope anybody who watches this later enjoys my